Hi there, Michael here again. This is the third video explaining how you might be able to use virtual reality applications to help you teach English as a foreign language, or if you are learning English as a foreign language and you have a VR headset to hand, how you might be able to grasp some of the content that's available out there and adapt it to your English learning needs, rather than just sticking to the traditional textbooks or YouTube videos or applications on your smartphone. So this is really the next generation of content, in particular immersive content, and it really is a good way to stimulate some of the foreign language that you might be learning. Now, in the last two videos I looked at some of the ways you could learn English by describing photographs, just to stimulate some vocabulary that maybe you were presented within the lesson, and then jumping into VR and then just trying to use that or apply that within a context. And that was very much on the student, so I was playing the student in that case. That was on the student to describe what they were seeing. But this time I want to show you some content that's out there from Obscura. This is an application from them, and it's looking at how you might be able to use audio guides or pre-recorded audio to enhance the way people learn, as opposed to simply going to the corner of the room and putting on a CD or pressing play on a YouTube video. This is actually immersing them in a new environment within virtual reality and getting them to hone in on some of the ways English language is pronounced. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So here we go. We'll click start. There is best experience with headphones and a swivel chair. Again, the eagle-eyed among you will know that I do not have a swivel chair, so if this series of videos is going to be successful, maybe I could put an advert on there, raise some cash and buy myself a swivel chair. Anyway, enough of the rambling. Here we are now inside what appears to be the globe. I can see the writing there, equator, Tropic of Cancer, etc. But we are standing inside a globe. I don't want to walk too much in front of me in case I'll fall over. But there we go, behind us is the door. And if you use the touchpad on your Oculus Go controller, you can actually swipe from left to right. Look at that. Makes it a bit easier to select where you want to go. So where should we go today? We've got some places here. We've got Underwater Ballroom in Surrey, England. We've got Cappadocia, I think that's how you say it, in Turkey. I've heard somewhere in India. The root bridges of Cherrapunji. Really sorry for my pronunciation. At Cat Island in Japan. Let's go there. Let's see what happens.
Cat Island, Japan. On the island of Tashirojima, the cats outnumber people,
okay,
and
so
the people like it that way.
There for the moment, but automatically you can see what the situation is here. You select on a country, you're presented with some photographs, in this case some cats, and there's an audio guide, which is really, really good, because you can build the listening skills potentially of your students in the English as a foreign language learning classroom. You've got the feature here, as you can see, to turn off the audio guide, so maybe you could actually get some of them explaining to you what they see in the virtual reality application. That could be good to build their confidence and get them implementing or practicing some of the vocabulary that maybe you have exposed them to or scaffolded them with previous to immersing them in this application. So you've got a number of different angles you can come at this from, and as you can see, you've got some text in front of you. But one thing I didn't notice was a transcript or a kind of the text coming up, the subtitles, that's what I'm looking for, of the audio in front of you. So maybe from that perspective, maybe it's more for more advanced users or advanced speakers of English. Because if you listen again to the audio, which I'm just about to press play again, it's not going to be for your beginners, is it? It's probably going to be in the region of your B2s, maybe C1s of the Common European Framework Reference of Languages. In other words, kind of lower intermediates and above. So let's press play again of this audio and let's listen to what he's telling us.
Cat Island, Japan. On the island of Tashirojima, the cats outnumber people, and the people like it that way. Cats have long been thought by the locals to represent luck and good fortune, and doubly so if you feed and care for them. Thus, the cats on Cat Island are treated like kings, and although they're wild, they're well fed and well taken care of. Despite this, luck and fortune haven't exactly come to the human residents of Cat Island. In the last 50 years, the human population of the island has dwindled from 1,000 to fewer than 100. As more and more people have shunned the island, the people that have remained have become ever more protective of the cats.
Used within this audio guide is, again, kind of hitting the heights of the intermediate level of the speaker of English. Words like dwindled, to shun, I think was another word. Luck and fortune have not been kind, I think was another expression. And there are a few idioms in there as well, some really natural expressions. So for more basic speakers or lower levels of English, maybe this could be quite demoralizing, but like I said in the beginning, you could actually get them describing what they see. Maybe you could have two of them in the app at the same time. So one student's wearing this and they're standing physically next to another student who's looking at the same app, at the same content here of Cat Island. And maybe you could just get them to explain to each other what they're seeing without the audio guide. But maybe for the more advanced user, some ideas could be to get them to give a summary of the audio they heard, maybe at the end of the experience. That could be quite nice. You know, that kind of blending of the virtual experiences with the more traditional based things, rather than just getting them to listen to an audio recording on a CD as they would normally do, and then getting them to talk about it. Why not immerse them in this globe, learning about the world? So that could be another angle to come at this from. So that's it. That's just an example of how you could use some more audio-based experiences and connect it to the existing way that you teach English as a foreign language. So there are many, many more experiences I could show you here. Maybe I'll leave those for another time and maybe drill down in some of the experiences a bit more in terms of maybe looking at some of the tenses that could be useful to expose to your students, or maybe some more idioms, phrasal verbs or other grammatical features. So this is really just a very quick overview of Atlas Obscura. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'm going to return to the atmosphere, as they say, and I'm going to carry on learning a bit more about the world around me. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.